Hello everyone and we welcome you to the next episode of this special series रूबरू. आज इस वीडियो में हमें कई सारे आंसर्स मिलेंगे. There will be parents who want their kids to become CEOs. There will be parents who want their kids to do something great in the field of economics. There will be people who would want to write books. और कई ऐसे लोग होंगे जो चाहेंगे कि उनके बच्चे स्कूल और कॉलेज में सबसे अच्छे हों. So today with us we have a student and I should introduce him as a student and then I should tell you about his achievements. And in this video, you are going to learn a lot. Career counseling के कई सारे जवाब भी आपको इसमें मिलेंगे. We have with us Mr. Aryan Huria, who is a graduate from Hansraj College from the field of economics, and most importantly, he is the general secretary of two clubs of the college. The first club being Enactus. Enactus is an international club and organization, and the second club being the economics club of the college. So let us try to learn more about Aryan. He is also an author. In fact, he started writing articles for newspapers like the Times of India when he was in class 9th. And most importantly, he has also co-authored few books. So there is a lot to know about Aryan. Let us first meet him and let us first understand what Aryan has achieved in life so far. So Aryan, if you can give a small brief about what you have done in life till now and how do you feel about it?
Yes, first of all, thank you for having here. And okay, so I'm Aryan Huria. I'm in the final year of my undergraduate degree, which I'm pursuing from Hansraj College. I'm pursuing economics honors from there. And I was in Aryan Public School, Rudrapur till class 10, from where I went on to the public school Arkepuram in class 11th. So sir has already told the major part of what I've done so far in my life, but still just to add on, in school life, I was the president of the Wingspan Club, which was the only club that Quinven had in our school back then. And then I joined Delhi Public School Arkepuram, where I was also the president student council, which is a rare feat for a hosteler to get within just 1 year of joining the institute. Then I went on to join Hansraj College. I also gave a few exams in PAT where I got AS6 in India and so on. Apart from that, I'm a co-author of two books, which is Mock Stock and Coral by Readomania and One Nest Tonight by Notion Press. Right now, my team just won the Enactus Nationals, and then we went on to represent Team India at the Enactus World Cup, which due to the pandemic happened online.
Okay, so because for our viewers to understand, the first question is how to get into a prestigious college like Hansraj. What happens? What we have to do in class 12? How to go about it? If I am a parent and I wish to know, or if I am a student and I wish to know that how after choosing commerce in 11th and 12th, I can get into Hansraj, Hansraj being one of the finest colleges in India for commerce. If you can guide us as a counselor, what should be our path?
Okay, so for the colleges in Delhi University, except for Sukhdev or other colleges offering BMS, you usually have a cutoff system where the marks that you get in your class 12, which is best of 4. So you have around 5-6 subjects in class 12. So they take best of 4 to calculate your percentage. And then the colleges usually release their cutoffs. So right now the DU process for this year has been delayed due to the pandemic, but the cutoff should be soon. So for Hansraj or say Hindu or SRCC. For SRCC, the cutoffs are slightly higher, that is 97.5 to 98 for the economics honors. And then Hindu or Hansraj, they're usually in the range from 96.75 to 97.5. There are 3 to 4 cutoffs depending upon the number of kids that enroll. First cutoff is the highest, and then it gets reduced by say 0.25 or 0.5 in the subsequent level.
We at Women have also been training students for courses like Bachelor of Management Studies. Can you tell us about few courses wherein there is an entrance exam and then students can appear? If I miss the percentage thing, if I do not get a 97 or a 95 or a 98, what are my other options for other courses or other colleges?
Yeah, so there are a few exams that you can undertake once you pass your class 12, and then usually in the month of May and June, there are these entrance exams for, one is DU JAC, which is for the University of Delhi colleges offering BMS and other such courses. So usually you have kids from all over India who write down that exam, which is a basic aptitude test. You can like do self-study or enroll in a coaching institute as well. And then you have universities like the Narsee Monjee in Mumbai or Symbiosis in Pune, which also have their own entrance exams, Narsee Monjee NPAT. And one course that is also very highly desired by students is the IPM IIM Indore. So that is usually a club of an undergrad and a post-grad degree. So if you clear that exam and you get selected for IIM Indore for the IPM program, first 3 years you do your undergrad, and then the next 2 years directly you move on to the post-grad at IIM Indore only. You do not have to sit for the CAT. which is the common aptitude test.
Those of you who would like to know more about these courses and the entrance and the coaching, etc., in detail, can contact in the number which is flashing, and you can get an advice from a counselor. Aryan has just told us two ways. One is getting a percentage which is as high as 97.5, and then there are other options also. So moving ahead, I can remember these beautiful lines from Harishankar Parsai ji. जब तान छिड़ी तब बोल उठा, जब थाप पड़ी तब नाच उठा, औरों के स्वर में स्वर भरकर अगर गाना गाया भी तो क्या गाया. So the youngsters these days believe in this thing कि अगर कॉलेज भी जा रहे हैं तो कुछ नया और कुछ अलग करते हैं. तो हम जानना चाहेंगे आर्यन से कि कॉलेज के पहले ईयर से ही क्या डिफरेंट किया उन्होंने, और इन क्लब्स जिनके बड़े बड़े क्लब्स का वो नाम ले रहे हैं, इंटरनेशनल क्लब्स का नाम ले रहे हैं, हम समझना चाहेंगे कि उन क्लब्स में एंटर होने के लिए उन्होंने क्या किया और बाद में ये इनेक्टस होता क्या है. बिकॉज वी हैव यूज्ड द वर्ड इनेक्टस 3 times in the interview. What is this Enactus and how to get into a college club? How to be that star achiever in a college?
So the best part of studying at a Delhi University college is the clubs and the societies that come along with it. When you join the college in first year, you start off as member, and then in the second year you get to be a departmental head, and in the third year you get to be in the core team, or some societies like in my case Enactus and Ecosoft, both of them were the core societies from the second year itself. So once you're a member in the first year, you sit for the interviews. If you make it through the interviews, you get to be a member of the society. You work for the various projects that they are undertaking. And then from the second year onwards, you again have these interviews and they analyze everything you did throughout the year. And if you post for, say, a president, a vice president, a gen sec, or other posts which are departmental heads as well. So all of them are equally important and they take the society forward.
So zeal to do well, and if you can have good interview skills, I think it is one must try for these clubs because this helps in profile building, is it?
Yeah, so the clubs have help in profile building for sure, and you need to have good interviewing skills because once you enter the college, you do not know the seniors or anyone in the college. From what they make of you is during that 30-minute interaction. So good interviewing skills and good, skills to communicate and express who you are.
True. Yeah. True. So Aryan, now tell us something about this World Cup you were mentioning. Because when as a child, whenever we hear about World Cup, it is either the football World Cup or the cricket World Cup. So what is this Enactus World Cup all about? And India had really done well under you. So I think it was India was amongst top 5 in the world this year. So it was an achievement. We would like to know about what this World Cup was all about. You were also the national champion for this year.
Yep. Yeah. So I'll just start off with what Enactus actually does, and then we'll move on to the World Cup part. So Enactus is an international organization that is spread in more than 37 countries and present in around 1,700 colleges in the world. So what they do is basically they promote social entrepreneurship. They combine social work that we usually do through NGOs and the entrepreneurship models, and they combine it to one single unit. So basically, say if we identify a community that we wish to uplift, what we do is we make the people of that community as entrepreneurs of a model that we will research and develop, and then make their life sustainable. So at Enactus Hansraj, the club I was the general secretary at, we had 3 running projects currently. We have had a legacy of around 12 projects, but 3 of them were running currently. One is the project SAS, for which I was also the director, where what we do is we get visually impaired individuals on board, and then we set up computer centers that are run by those visually impaired. So they undergo all the trainings, and then they teach underprivileged kids at very nominal fee, which we charge the organization. And then they're able to make a living, and the kids are able to be digitally literate, which is a very important thing in this time. Next, the other project is Project Arma, where we set up drug rehabilitation centers. And finally, Project Riddhi, where we solve the issue of stubble burning, the pollution that is caused due to stubble burning by cultivating mushrooms, manufacturing handicraft items, and constructing washrooms all out of stubble.
Yeah, these are all relevant issues, when at a time when even the entire Bollywood is under a drug probe, then I must say that when we are talking about drug abuse, when we are talking about things like stubble burning, all these are quite relevant issues. And social entrepreneurship means, like we see these ads on television wherein children become CEOs. It is better to actually strive for a good college, reach a good college, learn it through probably clubs like yours, and then become somebody in life. Because if you wish to become an entrepreneurship and if you do not know this angle of society being involved in entrepreneurship, you won't be able to do well, because it is about changing lives. Entrepreneurship is also about changing lives. So now coming to the old question of the World Cup, what was this World Cup all about?
So every year in Enactus, like I told, we are present in around 37 plus countries and 1700 plus colleges. So every year at a national level, Enactus organizes this national convention and competition where teams, particularly for India, teams from all over the country, they come together at a place, they meet, say at Mumbai or Delhi. They present all the work that they've done throughout the year. I mentioned our 3 projects, like every college has their own project. So they display their own projects, they present their own projects and whatever they've achieved in the last 1 year. And we are judges from organizations like KPMG, Walmart, who judge the presentations, and then they decide who has done the most impactful work and who they would like to send over to the next stage. So the national champion from around 90 teams from India moves on to represent the country at the Enactus World Cup, from where all the national champions across all 37 countries, they come together and then they participate and show their projects. So the winner gets a grant to, take their projects to even further heights and also get a recognition for the work that they have done. Right. So this year, due to the pandemic, everything was online. So first the national competition that happened online. So we were the national champions there in Enactus Hansraj, our team of 50 students. Right. And then we went on to represent Team India at the Enactus World Cup, which again happened online this year. So we were amongst the top globally. So which was a huge feat for us because this was the first time we were representing the country.
Right. No, such a feat to achieve. And now I would also like to know about one thing that in your profile, I was reading that you became an author at a young age and you have also co-authored few books. Can you tell me how becoming an author helps in profile building? And also one more question, when did you decide that you must become an author and how all this happens? Because children have this thing that how will they become authors? That's a question people have.
So I have always been an avid reader since my childhood days. But I remember one of the first twin classes that we had at Aryan Public School, and you mentioned you were an author, you write for Times of India, and you're also the youngest author from Uttarakhand to ever write in English language. So that is where I got inspired and tried to, write. I started off with writing a few articles. I would send them to Times of India and its supplement Kumaon Plus every week. They had this readers write column. So after sending around 7-8 articles, one of my article was published in Kumaon Plus, and it is at that time I realized that yes, I could do this, and now I'm also getting recognized by being published. So started off with writing a few articles in Times of India, and then I went on to participate in a few national contests that were story writing contests being organized by Notion Press and Readomania, which are leading publishers in India. So luckily, 2 of my stories were selected. First in Notion Press at the age of 15, I guess, and the book came out. And then in that year only, another story of mine got selected in the Readomania's anthology. So I was also the youngest author in both of these, but a lot of this credit goes to Twinven and you for inspiring a lot of kids like me.
It's always about the person who travels the paths. There can be multiple people telling you, you must do this, you must do that, but it is up on the person to finally, achieve something big in life. When I was talking to Aryan, so he was saying that life has just started और अभी जरूरी नहीं है कि हम बहुत तारीफ वाली बातें उनके लिए बोलें. तो but रहीम जी की लाइंस में मैं बोलूंगा, बड़े बड़ाई ना करें, बड़े ना बोलें बोल, रहीमन हीरा कब कहे लाख टका मेरा मोल. So आपने जो अचीव किया है इस एज में वो बहुत कमाल का है. और सबसे अच्छी बात है कि ऐसी बातें इसलिए सामने रखनी पड़ती हैं बिकॉज और लोग इंस्पायर होते हैं. जैसे आपने एग्जांपल दिया कि आपको एक क्लास में आप इंस्पायर हुए, कुछ हुआ, ऐसे ही अगर और लोग जो भी आपको सुन रहे हैं, अगर उनको ये रास्ता मिल सके, they will become something great in life. At least they will try to achieve higher bullards. That's the aim of रूबरू. रूबरू का यही एम है. हम आगे के एपिसोड्स में कई साइंटिस्ट से भी मिलेंगे, बहुत सारे लोगों से मिलेंगे, बट हमारा एम यही है कि एटलीस्ट कई लोगों को इंस्पिरेशन मिले कि हाँ हमें कुछ बड़ा करना है लाइफ में. अगर हम बड़ा करने की सोचेंगे नहीं तो बड़े बन नहीं पाएंगे. That becomes a problem. So अब this brings me to the next question, and the next question is reading, writing, entrepreneurship or economics, which is one thing which excites you the most? सबसे exciting क्या है इन चारों चीजों में?
I think entrepreneurship combines all of these principles to one single thing.
Yes.
Entrepreneurship has application of economics. It has you need to be an avid reader as well, and also have to express whatever you're thinking in written terms as well. So entrepreneurship combines clubs all of these, and I'm extremely passionate about that.
Those of you who are interested in knowing about entrepreneurship and how to become CEO, this is a big question people ask me also these days. The numbers are flashing. You can get in touch with the counselors and ask them. Though Aryan has already given the right answer that if you can read well, if you can write well, if you are from a good college, if you are a researcher, then definitely it becomes easier to become a CEO. No particular degrees are important, but without quality education, it is actually difficult to become a CEO. So we read about people that he didn't study and he became a CEO. It rarely happens, frankly. So let us follow the right path, going to a good college, building that community, having that profile as Aryan has done. And then 10 years down the line, one can achieve to, one can aim to really become a CEO or a CEO who can change lives through his company. Now, I would like to know one more thing, Aryan, because many people would like to know about commerce as a field. Where do you see yourself after 10 years? Like, down the road, what are the things which you can pursue and what even other students can pursue? If you can give us idea about 2-3 fields, that how there are 2-3 paths which you as a graduate can take later.
So right now, I'm also like thinking about a lot of things that can be done. I'm on the same path as well. But as a commerce graduate or like currently, there are a lot of fields that, you don't specifically have to be from commerce or humanities or any one field, but like in stage, everything is open for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
So say you do get a degree in commerce or economics,
Mm-hmm.
and then you can move on into management consulting, investment banking, or other sales and marketing. Plus, you can also pursue an MBA after this directly, or you can move into specialization. Say I'm doing economics honors right now, and then I can move on to the masters of economics, like see the masters in the same field. So there are a lot of options that can be done. Plus, you can move into other fields as well, like designing or stuff like that. So
any one thing that you would like college students to work upon or improve upon? Anything which college students in India or school students in India, any one thing which they must improve in themselves?
I think two things, like one is a subset of the other, but good leadership skills and having good leadership skills and being a team player. So if you have that, a lot of things become easier for you because then you have the ability to work in a team and also lead them. So a lot of gates get opened for you just by having these two skills.
True. And how important is a thing like personality development in school life? How does it play a role when you grow up and when you meet the real world, when you go to a big city or when you go to a big college? What difference does it bring in a student who has gone through some training and a student probably who has never heard about things like public speaking, leadership? What difference does it make in real life?
In simple terms, you'll already have an experience of what else you want to experience in college life. So you start a step ahead from everyone else. For example, you get enrolled into PDP classes. They teach you public speaking. They'll also like have you develop good interviewing skills, good communication skills. Then all these facts and good leadership skills for that matter as well, because you work in a team in the clubs or in the PDP sessions. So when you enter college, you already have those skills required to get into different clubs or different initiatives that you would want to take, or even for matter if you're extremely passionate about debating or music. So you'd already have a bit of experience into what actually is required. And then from there, you'll have to learn what you do in school life and what you do in college life are two different things, but you will have some experience beforehand. So that is always a step ahead. That means you're always a step ahead from the others.
I always give value to this term skill development, right age of getting developed in terms of skills. It actually starts in class 5, 6, and it goes up. It's learning is an age-long process. So what do you feel about distractions? Because this generation has a lot of distractions. You talk about social media, you talk about even other problems. So what do you think? How to fight distractions, or how have you fought distractions in your life? Because as a youngsters, you must have faced many distractions. So how do you fight distractions? What is your mantra of fighting distractions?
So I believe that all these social media platforms and everything that is out there to distract you, they're also there to help you in some way or the other. So once you decide that how they are helping you and you start using them to your advantage, obviously the distraction would become an advantage for you. But again, that being said, like in your school life, academics play a very important role. So knowing when to stop or when to put a limit is important. And say if you have an exam next day or a week thereafter, you could probably cut down on the other like distractions that you have or you feel would pull you down. So you can use them, you should use them to stay updated and to, you're in this world where everything is digitalized. So you should know what else is happening. And even for the social media platforms, they like you can use them to your advantage by knowing what else is happening in the world around you. But at the same time, not at the expense of your academics.
You have even, worked or got into clubs where international organizations like Walmart, KPMG were involved. even with organizations like Twinwin, you have been on and off, like as an intern or in other roles. Do you really think that students, when they are in college life, they should aim for such internships and such programs? Because later in life, you have to face the corporate world. So why not to get a sneak peek into it and understand what it really is all about?
So I believe that internships would help you know what you want to actually be doing.
Mm-hmm.
For some people, corporate might not be the best fit for what they want to do. So once you get an experience for that,
mm-hmm.
you would know whether it's the right fit for you or it is not. And on the other hand, there are a lot of fields that are available. Say if I want to get into consulting,
mm-hmm.
and I directly get into consulting as after my college, and then I decide maybe this is not for me. So if I have an internship already in that field, if I've already solved like whatever they expect out of a consultant, then I can decide in a better way and not waste that time afterwards. Plus, the internships also add to your experience. So the companies that would come to hire, they'll also place some value on them because they know that you have been there and you know what you're getting into.
Right. So we'll now have a rapid fire round, So in the rapid fire round, we'll just give you a word or a sentence or a question, and then we'd like quick answers, right? So I'm starting it. The first question is, a corporate leader or an author? What suits you more?
I think corporate leader.
Okay. Marks or skills? What is more important?
Skills that would help you get marks.
Yes. One weakness of yours?
I think it becomes really difficult for me to remember names.
Oh.
So like that is a very big weakness because people place a lot of value in the names, and if you do not remember that, so obviously the whole point of networking gets lost because you do not have a good connection. So I'm working on that currently.
Yes.
Because it's important to place the value in the other person.
Biggest nightmare?
None that I can think of right now.
Okay.
No, none.
Okay. And biggest distraction that you have faced, because we have talked about distractions?
I think WhatsApp, you can.
Okay.
WhatsApp, yeah.
Fair enough. So we will now, the rapid fire round is over. We would like to ask you to give one message to the viewers of Rubaru. In the very first episode, we got around 20,000 views, which was quite good. And for this, we are expecting even more. So one message to the youngsters, the young community that Aryan would like to share so that they can get benefited.
One message that I'll have for the viewers is that, especially the youngsters, use this time to get to know yourself, get to know what you enjoy doing, and not just what you should be doing. Once you get to know what you enjoy doing, you will obviously be better than most in what you would be doing. So use this time to know yourself and explore a lot of different things, study, play. Like you should explore a sport or everything, but make sure that the cats don't suffer because of that. So keep a balance between everything and have fun. This is your time.
Right. Yeah. So balance is the right approach. Because we talked about distraction.
Yep.
Before I finish, I remember these lines. Jo rahim uttam prakriti, kya kari sakat kusang, chandan vish vyakt nahi, lapte rahat bhujang. It means जो चंदन का पेड़ होता है उसमें हमेशा सांप लिपटे होते हैं, बट कभी भी वो विषैला नहीं होता. तो खराब संगति हो तो भी अगर आप उत्तम प्रकृति के हैं, अगर आपकी प्रकृति अच्छी है, प्रकृति से हम यहाँ कहना चाहते हैं वो क्वालिटीज जो आर्यन ने मेहनत करके डेवलप करी, या वो क्वालिटीज जो टॉप सीईओज, टॉप आईएएस ऑफिसर्स, बेस्ट कॉलेज स्टूडेंट्स अपने अंदर डेवलप करते हैं, अगर आप में वो बात है, अगर आप उस सही रास्ते पर हैं, तो कोई डिस्ट्रैक्शन आपको रोक नहीं सकता. So we wish the very best to Aryan, and we hope that one day again he returns to Rubaru, and this time with a bigger achievement, and maybe as CEO of an organization or maybe even something bigger. So let's see how it goes, and our viewers would have learned a lot. But हम ये चाहेंगे कि अगर आपके फिर भी कोई questions रह गए हों, या अगर आप Rubaru की टीम से बात करना चाहते हो, so numbers are flashing and you can contact us. We hope that next week also you will connect with us and we'll bring you another person जिससे आप रूबरू होकर कुछ नया और अच्छा सीखेंगे. So thank you so much, Aryan. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.